welcome back to another reading. In today's reading, we're looking at what is coming towards you next. For today's reading, I've prepared 3 different pre-shuffled oracle decks, so let's go through them one by one. We have pile number 1 with Sulfur, pile number 2 with Smoke, and pile number 3 with Sugar. So please select your pile based on your intuition, and I will see you in your reading. Bye! Hi everyone! If you selected pile number 1 or Sulfur, this is going to be your reading, all about what is coming towards you next. So let's reveal the rest of your oracle cards. Sulfur. Definitely an energy of the root chakra, grounding, kundalini rising. I'm even hearing. Okay, we'll see. We have Moon Goddess with higher power. We have Mars in Libra with choice. We also have Mercury in Scorpio with extremism. Interesting that there is a theme of duality or relationships in both of these cards. Libra and Scorpio. If you're watching this as I'm posting it, we just got out of Libra season and we're moving into Scorpio season right now. So this is very fitting. Seems like whatever the message that is occurring now is talking about this November, if you're watching this as I'm posting it. Scout of Water. Let's look at your runes. We have Woon Yu with joy and pleasure. We also have Laguth with water or intuition. Yeah, water, intuition again. Okay, beautiful. So you're definitely sensing, you're moving somewhere based on your intuition, and you're going to be making a choice between your heart and what is conventional here. All right, we'll see. We have the Thief, seizing the moment, selfishness. We also have the Assassin, ruthlessness and conviction. Wow, Thief and Assassin. You're in your villain era, I'm hearing. All right, pile number 1, let's get your tarot cards and see what's coming towards you next. What is coming towards pile number 1 next? We have Queen of Pentacles. And we have Judgment. Okay, wow, very, very positive cards so far. We have the Lovers. Again, this is very, very similar energy to this Mars in Libra with choice. The Hierophant. And King of Cups. Wow. Okay, let me just move your cards a little bit and I'll be right back. Alright, pile number 1, let's start with your first chosen oracle card, Sulfur. So, Sulfur is the energy of your soul. And with this having a red color, what this tells me is you're purging something out of your system. You're faced with some sort of challenge likely right now that is actually going to end up being precisely what moves you towards your destiny. So with Sulfur being here, there's definitely a message of you facing something that you deem to be negative or yucky, because Sulfur has that unpleasant smell to it, right? But sulfur also symbolizes your soul. So in alchemy, and just so that you guys learn also, in case you didn't know, sulfur represents your soul, salt represents your body, and mercury represents your mind. And sulfur being your chosen card tells me that right now you're prioritizing your soul. There's something basically ready to be purged out of your soul through some sort of an external challenge that is unpleasant to deal with. Now, this external challenge, while it's unpleasant and yucky and smelly, right, it propels you towards actually rising from the dead and merging with your destiny, with the Judgment and the Lover's card here. Pile number one. Pile number one with the Thief and Assassin here. It is clear to me that there is a message right now for you to be okay with prioritizing yourself, for you to be okay with being selfish in one way or another. With Mars being in Libra and Mercury being in Scorpio, we're seeing a conflict being depicted here that is very, very different energy, basically opposing energy of the Libra diplomatic qualities, right? So I'm seeing that there's a dichotomy to your character. On one hand, you're this powerful spirit who right now is very much in tune with their heart, with their soul, with their internal guidance system, with their intuition, with Scout of Water being here and Laguz rune that we pulled. However, with Libra contrasting this energy, I can also sense that because you're such a spiritual and gentle soul by nature, perhaps you have some people-pleasing tendencies in you. Like you're used to doing a lot of kind, compassionate, loving things for other people. You're used to prioritizing service to others. And while it's all beautiful and good and shows how, open and compassionate and kind your heart is, there is a message that right now, pile number one, you should be okay with prioritizing yourself and being selfish, okay? This is a time for you to set clear boundaries between yourself and people who might be violating your boundaries. This is a time for you to really have your eyes on the prize, to really feel interconnected with your heart, and to really, really pay attention, consciously be present here, because you're in a really, really important part of your life right now, okay? You're transitioning from something that has been a challenge, something that has been blocked energy-wise, into a totally new reality that allows you to merge with abundance, with your destiny in terms of your service to humanity, as well as with your leadership qualities and with your heart, with King of Cups being here. With Mercury in Scorpio, I am picking up another message. This is very similar to Sulfur here. So Mercury is representative of our mind, right? Scorpio is representative of the underworld. So what I'm sensing here is actually internally, pile number one, you're going through a massive purge where your consciousness, your perspective, your lens of analysis of your day-to-day operation through the physical realm is going to be completely shifted upside down because of a conscious choice that you're making to merge with your destiny, pile number one. So what is coming for you next, pile number one? You are ready to merge with your destiny, with your calling. I know that deep inside right now, if you're receiving this message, you know that this energy is basically on the precipice of entering your life. You know, you are intuitively sensing that life is going to get much easier from here on now. It's going to be much more joyful with when you much more intuitive. Your life is about to be completely different. You're going to be completely different once you face this yucky energy, and this is internal, okay? So for some of you, this may be expressing itself with an external situation that is a challenge that you're dealing with right now. For others, you're just kind of reaching a point where you're finally getting clarity on what has been wrong about your perspective all this time. Okay, you're finally getting that missing piece of the puzzle that allows you to shift your perspective upside down. And that shift in your consciousness is resulting in you receiving some pretty amazing financial opportunities. So pile number one, if you have been manifesting financial freedom, abundance, in order for you to, truly merge with your destiny here, if you have been just praying, telling yourself, okay, if I only had all of these extra resources, I would for sure live in an entirely different way. I would for sure do this or that, or I would take on singing or acting or whatever it might be, okay? If you've been telling yourself the only thing that really needs to fall into place for me to know what to do next, because you already know where you need to head through your soul's calling here, your intuition is pulling you somewhere. Congratulations, pile number one. What is coming next is some sort of a great financial opportunity, an opportunity for abundance. Now, for all of you, this is going to be a different type of opportunity. Some of you might just be getting inherited money. Some of you just might be getting money out of nowhere. Others might be getting a really luxurious, job offer or career offer that is actually precisely what is needed for you to get in touch with your soul's potential, for you to step into the position of abundance and power, and for you to rise to your calling. I'm seeing with the Lovers card here and with Mars being in Libra, okay, you are making a choice. And this choice with Mars being in Libra is usually a quick choice, okay? It's a choice where you're kind of receiving an opportunity and you have to decide pretty much quickly here whether you are going to take this opportunity that is clearly going to move you towards your destiny, or whether you're going to stay in the comfort zone. And I'm seeing that you are not staying in the comfort zone, okay, pal number one? You are done with your comfort zone at this point in your spiritual development. You can hear the voice of your intuition really clearly. You are done building your life based on what society tells us is adequate way of building your life, what any conventions might have tried to convince you, what people in your life might have tried to push you towards. You're done with all of that, okay, pal number one? And you're ready to live a much more sincere life, because with the Judgment and with Lovers, what do we know? Lovers is a card that represents a choice that is really hard to make, okay? Because it's a choice on one hand that is very easy for your heart. You know what you want. You know that this choice is something that's going to give you the life that is more sincere, more authentic. It's the choice that your soul wants to make. On the other hand, social conditions and traumas and, negative energies of society or your own limiting beliefs are pulling you to stay away from this choice. They're telling you that you're not worthy of it in one way or another because of fear. And you're deciding that, no, I am worthy of this. I am choosing a life that is sincere, that is authentic for me, and you're merging with this life here. What I can tell you is what's next for you, pal number one, is financial abundance, some sort of a new career opportunity for a lot of you. For others, it's a financial abundance that allows you to pursue whatever it is that you want to pursue in terms of your creativity, in terms of your, career potential here. Either way, this is an energy of you being in a leadership position. This opportunity or this position or this choice that you're making is uniting you with your spiritual knowledge. Finally, you're reaching that point in your spiritual development where basically you are embodying your spiritual truth instead of just understanding it intellectually with the Hierophant here. The Hierophant here tells us that your position, whatever this opportunity that's coming your way, it not only makes you financially abundant and secure for the rest of your life, but also it allows you to be in a position of power because of who you are spiritually. Does that make sense? Like in this new position, you will be able to truly root yourself in your spiritual wisdom and to transfer that wisdom through your work with humanity or, whatever you might be doing. You're utilizing your spiritual wisdom and really finally stepping into this position of authority as a spiritually wise and in tune individual here. I think pile number one, you have been manifesting, a drastic change in your life. I think you have been blocked energetically in one area of your life or another. This issue has been growing and growing and growing energetically. You addressed it at some point in your shadow work or through your spiritual practices or through being, a conscious being altogether here. And now this is basically your final moment of purging this yucky energy out of your physiology, out of your consciousness, and you're moving towards a position of power here that allows you to not only be financially fulfilled, but also fills your cup here and allows you to look into the future with a much different lens. You're looking into the future with love, with excitement. You're finally at peace with where you are because you've merged with destiny here, pile number one. I think if you're receiving this message, pile number one, it's likely you've been feeling this longing to merge with your destiny, to be where you belong, to finally feel the sense of belonging to your life here. And there was something missing. There was just constantly something missing. Life got in the way here, but the longing was still there in your bones. And congratulations. I mean, this is a beautiful energy. This tells me that you have done a lot of spiritual work, okay? And you had to deal with a lot of challenges on the way, a lot of yucky energy of just being in this earthly realm, dealing with karma, dealing with a lot of negative energy here. And finally, the energy is cleared out because of the shift of consciousness that you are making, pile number one, and you're moving into a position of power, of authority that allows you to be a spiritual leader in one way or another. Obviously, it doesn't have to be a spiritual line of work. You could lead people spiritually through different fields, absolutely. But what we know is you feel like you're finally where you belong. You feel like you can make plans for the future without fear. You feel like your whole life now has a different perspective on it, because you're finally getting hindsight about what this yucky energy or what this blockage has been. You're finally shifting the narrative, and because you are, and it just happens to be a fated time for you to shed this energy, you're finally transitioning into a totally new element where you're living in your calling. You are in the Tao. Things are going to get much easier. You're going to flow through life starting now, okay? There's an element of you really rooting yourself in your feminine power with joy and pleasure and with intuition here, okay? You are really asked, pile number one, with Bunyu and Laguz, to prioritize yourself, your joy, your excitement, your intuition. Do things for your heart, okay? Because the more that you get in touch with this heart intuitive energy here, the faster and smoother you're going to transition into this financial abundance. What I will tell you, pile number one, the first element of manifestation that's going to come into fruition for you is a financial resolution, okay? We know this with Queen of Pentacles being your first tarot cards here. The first sign that you're going to receive that you're done with a blockage that has been blocking you for an extended period of time and that you're about to get clarity on your entire spiritual journey here is financial upgrade. All of you, pile number one, are receiving some sort of a massive financial opportunity that basically finally gives you the hindsight like, oh, yeah, I was right. I manifested this. And I think things are going to get even better from here on now. You are receiving this financial opportunity. You're rising to a calling, making a life-changing choice here, and finally finding yourself in a position of authority that roots you not only in your masculine position of authority, leadership, but also in your emotional wisdom, in your spiritual wisdom here. So yeah, pile number one, congratulations. I mean, you are about to move into a much easier time in your life. please, you know, do whatever the practices that you do in order to keep yourself grounded, because you are on the precipice of like a massive, massive, massive transition right now. Maybe it's already happening for you, and you're about to literally, you know, in a few weeks, or maybe, you know, a month or a little bit more, because this is really, really fast energy here. You're finding yourself in a different perspective and in a different life here. So congratulations, pile number one. I mean, this is beautiful spiritual energy. It really recognizes the kind of work that you've put in into your spiritual growth, and it tells you that it was worth it all this time. Okay, you're about to see that this has been worth it all this time, that you are who you are for a reason, and that you are meant to be of service to humanity here because of your massive spiritual wisdom and talent. And you're finally acquiring that position of power, authority, that's going to basically open your eyes to who you are. You've known that you've been this person all this time, but I think the energy has been blocked. So you have been kind of like gaslighting yourself and thinking like, well, maybe I'm not right. Maybe I'm not all those things that I am deeming myself to be. But you are. And right now it's okay for you to prioritize yourself, because you're moving through a massive, massive transformation that really requires you actually to prioritize yourself. Okay, pile number one. So congratulations, you're about to really feel a sense of belonging in your life. This is beautiful, massive energy. Yeah, and I think this is all that I see here, pile number one. Thank you so much for opening your energy up to me. If you liked this reading and it resonated, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to share your story, please feel free to do so down in the comments. I always welcome that and love to hear your stories and basically your life journeys. I learn quite a bit from that. But yeah, I think this is all. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hi everyone! If you selected pile number 2, or smoke, this is going to be your reading, all about what's coming towards you next. Smoke. Okay, I'm just gonna keep this to myself for a second. Stay in integrity. Do you guys see the synchronicity between these cards? There's this circle, triangle, triangle, circle. Maybe right now it's kind of muddy for you. You can't really see clearly. You might actually think that you're moving away from what you're desiring, but that's not the case. And that's why there's a message of staying in integrity. That's why there is a message of staying true to who you are, because this energy of smoke needs to stabilize first. Okay, we have 10 of Swords. Yeah, okay. So pile number 2, I think you have been dealing with some sort of an anxious subject or challenge for a long time, with 10 being the end of the cycle. Finally, the energy is going to be clearing out for you, pile number 2, and you will experience the release of this anxiety. Okay, let me just reveal the rest of the cards before I talk too much. We have Nodis, Destitution, Temperance. Yeah, okay, so you have been dealing with something difficult, clearly. And we got, oh wow, okay, we got the same Nodis rune again. And that's why I usually use one black and one red card here, because I always want to see whether there's an emphasis on one particular subject or another with runes. And it's clear, okay, you have been dealing with some sort of a painful, challenging situation here. This situation had really taught you, you know, patience, had really taught you faith, hope here. We'll see. We have the Founder, Foundation, Community. We have the Storyteller, Viewpoints and Control. Okay, yeah, pile number 2, there's definitely a message of basically you lacking the necessary perspective right now, okay? Because of with the Storyteller, viewpoints, control, perspective. This gives me a feeling of you choosing between what perspective might be right here, you being uncertain about what exactly to believe here. We have Venus in Libra with indecision, and we have Moon in Libra again with companionship. All right, let's get your tarot cards, pile number 2, so we can understand these messages more clearly. Ooh, we have the Fool with this Mermaid card. Interesting. All right, what is coming towards pile number 2 next? What's coming? We have 5 of Cups. Okay, so you desperately have been wanting a new beginning, and that has been blocked for a while with an energy of some sort of a limiting belief. We'll see. Okay. We have Ace of Cups. We have the World. Wow. We have Judgment. And we have Page of Cups. All right, let me just move your cards a little bit and I'll be right back. All right, pile number 2. I'm getting a very, very specific message that is for those of you who are struggling with their relationships, okay? With other people, with a particular person, with love life. This is definitely about relationships, okay? I just have to say that. So if this does not apply for you, don't try to make it fit. Check out the other piles. Sometimes it is like that. I just have to tell you what I'm seeing here. This is definitely a message about relationships and healing your relationships and finally moving into a much more positive time in terms of your relationships, actually. So yeah, I just wanted to mention it for those of you who might not relate to this message, but for those of you who do, let's move on here with your first chosen card being Smoke. What I heard when I pulled this card is there is no smoke without a fire, okay? And this has to deal with your relationship, some sort of an important relationship in your life that has been really, really making you anxious, really, really stressing you out with 10 of Swords here, really, really, making you patient, really making you feel like, okay, like I can't really deal with this relationship or with this energy, but for some reason, okay, because this is smoke and not the fire, this card tells me you have not directly confronted the source of the smoke, basically. And there is a need to do that here, okay? With someone important in your life, what this card is telling me is you are smelling the smoke. You know precisely what's hurting you here. You want a new beginning with this person or in your relationships in general, but this energy is blocked in stagnation because you are busy basically wallowing in your limiting and hurtful beliefs in regards to this relationship. With your chosen card being Smoke, this tells us that if you do not directly address the issue with this person, pile number 2, this smoke is obviously going to turn into a humongous fire, okay? So just waiting and, hoping that things will magically kind of turn here is not going to work in your case, pile number 2. What is needed is you talking or addressing this person who is causing you pain in your life in order for you to get to the bottom, the root, the fire there, okay? Now, again, we're getting a message of staying in integrity. What does this mean? This means honoring yourself, your truth. This also means, obviously, honoring the other party's truth if they're operating from higher levels of consciousness and setting a boundary with them if they're not operating from a higher level of consciousness here. So your message here, pile number 2, is there is a need to talk or hash things out or to have a direct conversation in in regards to something that you have been carrying with this particular person for an extended period of time, something that has been making you, suffer, something that has been really painful, honestly. This is the end of the cycle, and you need to close it out by having this confrontation with the person. With Venus being in Libra here and Moon being in Libra here, okay, I know why you are resistant to talking to this person, to confronting them. This is Libra energy, okay? This is an energy that does not like conflict. This is an energy that does not like direct confrontation. This is an energy that always want to be balanced and peaceful. Maybe some of you are Libras. I myself am a Libra, and I know that this placement comes with a lot of people pleasing, okay? And that's not very good when internally you're feeling like, okay, I really need to stand up for myself here. And I'm seeing that you are deciding to stand up for yourself here, okay? With foundation and community being here and viewpoints and control with storyteller being here, it's clear to me, pile number 2, that for a lot of you, this is a family member, okay, that you have a very karmic relationship with. So you love them very much, they love you very much, but the relationship is not entirely healthy because of the karma that needs to be worked through, okay? And what your message is telling you, pile number 2, is you need to have the moment of confrontation with this person, okay? You need to have this moment of confrontation. And unfortunately, I cannot tell you how this confrontation is going to go, okay? All I can tell you is this confrontation is necessary for you to move into a new cycle of relationships in your life. You basically need to, with your action, show the universe that, hey, I'm ready to stand up for myself. I know what I believe in. I know what I deserve. I know what my boundaries are. And once you finally establish it in your karmic relationship, in some sort of a relationship here that has been keeping you hostage, maybe this is a partner for some of you. I'm not sure, because we're seeing the World card being represented as a partnership here. But what I know, for all of you, the confrontation is going to go differently, okay? For some of you, the confrontation is going to end on a bitter note, and that's okay, okay? Because in the end of the day, you are still getting a new start, a new divinely orchestrated start that you have been waiting for, that allows you to finally move into basically the life of your dreams, the life of harmonious relationships. If you've been manifesting a soulmate, a partner, you are ready to receive that. You're ready to start a new journey with the Fool here. You're ready to basically be in a totally new realm of your relationships here. You're ready to feel young and youthful and excited and joyful through your relationships. You're ready to find your community. Basically, your relationships in your life, pile number 2, are ready to heal, okay? But first, in order for you to transition into this basically stage of your life, there needs to be the addressing of the smoke here. You need to look around yourself and become conscious of what the source of fire is in your particular relationship. For all of you, this is going to be different. You need to stand up for yourself and express your perspective, although it's uncomfortable here, okay? And just that act of standing up for yourself and really telling yourself, I am done with being treated this way. I am ready to really honor who I am, and I'm not willing to, listen to perspectives that are not honoring who I am, what I value. I'm ready to really, set a boundary between myself and those people. Once you do that confrontation with whoever this individual is, your relationships are going to heal altogether, okay? With this person and also in general, altogether. So unfortunately, pile number 2, I'm sensing that I can't really tell you how this confrontation is going to go, okay? Because we're seeing this element that is unseen here. For some of you, the result of the confrontation may not be like the best result that you were looking for, but that's okay, because you will see that regardless, you will feel so empowered. You will feel like, all right, finally, I'm no longer keeping myself hostage. to this sadness energy. I'm no longer keeping myself hostage to this anxiety. I have freed myself. And this act of self-defense, this act of self-love, this act of standing up and really confronting the source of fire here, it opens up a whole new life here. The world is the final card in the major arcana, right? So we're seeing a theme of your relationships will never be as difficult as they were before. You're ready for easy relationships. You're ready to meet the people, your soulmates, basically, whether it's romantic or whether it's platonic. You're ready to just feel more fulfilled in your relationships altogether, and you're ready to truly be honored for who you are on a soulful level, because Page is a young energy. And rising to our calling, rising to our truth, even though it requires a lot of adulting, right? It requires a lot of strength that we accumulate through our journey into adulthood, it still connects us to our childlike self, to that energy of excitement and enthusiasm. And it seems to me that you have lost touch with this energy, basically because of how painful your relationships have been. Get ready, pile number 2, to experience a totally new perspective on what a community is, on what love is, on what support is. Get ready to feel really, really fulfilled by love in your relationships. Okay, pile number 2? What is coming towards you next is a new beginning, with the Fool being here and Ace of Cups being here. This is the divine fated time for you to receive your new beginnings, because Ace of Cups is a divinely granted energy, right? All aces are divinely granted energy. And with the Fool looking directly at Five of Cups, this tells me this is in the area that has been blocked, okay? You are getting your new beginning in your relationships, and once that balances out, pile number 2, once you do find yourself in this new world in terms of your fulfillment in your relationships, what is actually happening is you're also uniting with your destiny in one way or another, okay? So what you can expect next is healing of your relationships, okay? And you merging with your destiny. And these are two different blessings that are coming your way that are emphasized with the World and Judgment being here. So for those of you who, not only struggle with your relationships, but also you feel like a general lack of belonging to your life, like you're not in a field or a career that is satisfactory, you're not really, truly in a place where you would say, I belong here. This is from where I want to build. This is where my base is. This is where I belong. This is who I am. For those of you who don't have that sense of connection to your life just yet, get ready, because you clearing out this cycle of relationships is also actually opening another cycle here. A cycle that will allow you to honor your child self and will allow you to merge with your destiny or with service to humanity in one way or another. So pile number 2, once you have this confrontation basically with this karmic energy here, no matter how it goes, prepare to receive so many new blessings and opportunities. You will see literally in your life that you are running into people randomly who are your soulmates. You are meeting people who want to help you. You are talking to people who are really your soul tribe. For those of you who are looking for the love of your life, you're meeting this person. You're basically finally stepping into a quantum reality that is in alignment with who you are. So the people that you are meeting are also reflecting that alignment that you have with yourself. But before you can move into this part of your life, as I said, please, pile number 2, I know this is going to be difficult for you, okay? I know, believe me, because I'm a Libra myself. I don't like confrontation. Even when people are extremely abusive and toxic, I still struggle with confrontation. My voice shakes, I'm crying. I get it. When you are a spiritual being of light and peace and integrity, it's really hard to deal with unconscious energies. But it's important that you stand your ground, that you communicate with whoever this person might be who is hurting you, and you really tell them, okay, this is how it's going to work, or I'm done. Okay, I'm done. because you're meant to close out a painful cycle, and you're meant to move into a cycle that is much more pleasant, full of love, full of joy, full of you being basically in a community that truly honors you for your truth, for your authenticity, for everything that your soul, your heart has to offer here. This is beautiful energy, and I understand that right now you might be feeling like this zooming into your life where things are even more challenging because you're feeling this need to confront the fire. Know that this energy of destitution, right, or this energy of pause in your life, it exists for you to address it. This challenge exists so you can address it in order for your consciousness to shift. And once you address it, you're moving into this new beginning in your relationships here. So yeah, pile number 2, thank you so much. I think this is all that I'm seeing here. Congratulations, you're about to experience a much easier time in terms of, you know, the kind of people that enter your life, the kind of people that you surround yourself with on a daily basis. And although obviously throughout our spiritual journey, a lot of things are important, right? Us uniting with our destiny, our desires, our manifestations, our personal growth. In my opinion, the most important part of our lives, regardless, for all of us, is relationships, right? Because if our relationships don't have that kind, supporting, compassionate quality to them, then it's inevitable that we feel isolated and in one way or another stagnated in terms of, you know, how we operate within the physical realm and within a community here. I think pile number 2, for an extended period of time, you've known that your work, your destiny here, your lifetime contribution to humanity through your spirituality here with judgment here has to deal with service to community. You have to be surrounded by people, but I think you have isolated yourself a lot because there has been heartbreak, because there has been blockage in your relationships, and it's clearly a fated time for you to clear out that blockage by having this confrontation, and you're ready to not only move into an easier time in terms of your relationships, but also into your fated destiny here in terms of how you will be serving humanity through your own authentic gifts and abilities. So yeah, this is all that I see here, pile number 2. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you, for allowing me into your energy. If this reading resonated, please give it a like. It's an easy way to support me. Leave a comment down below if you want to share your story. I always love to read those. It's always very important for me in my own spiritual growth. I learn a lot from you guys. And yeah, I think this is it. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hi everyone, if you selected pile number 3 or sugar, this is going to be your reading all about what's coming towards you next. And you guys got 2 of these cards actually. I noticed that when I was moving them around. Sugar, sweetness, too good to be true. That's what I'm hearing with this card. And glass, perspective. Perspective. You're gaining clarity. I'm hearing you're finally gaining clarity about something here. Okay. We have yin moon with accept help. So divine feminine activation. Actually, let me put it here. We also have, this is the magician. Okay. Beautiful. So you are manifesting something massive next. Pile number 3. Let's reveal your runes first. We have a was. Yeah, okay. This is a rune that is similar to the Chariot card. A rune of the horse or transition or change. And we have Rido. Yeah, so this is fated. You're finally moving into a fated path here. Okay, let's see these cards. We have the Cartographer, Crossroads, Exploration. Whoa. And we have the Puppeteer, Explanations and Apologies. Apologies to yourself, I'm hearing. Because you're finally seeing clearly what's going on. We have Jupiter in Pisces with seduction. And we have Venus in Pisces with submission. Yeah, okay, this Piscean energy of submission and seduction right now, pile number 3, there's definitely a message of you not acting from your divine masculine, you not needing to act, but rather you manifesting and embodying this manifestation. Right now, your transition into your fated life here is going to happen through manifestation rather than through some sort of work or action here. Okay, let's get your tarot card so we can see your messages much more clearly. What is coming towards pile number 3 next? We have pain and pleasure, temperance, we have 2 of air with respect. Interesting, do you guys see how there's this duality energy all over right away? Okay. We have Lady of Earth. We have Ace of Earth and 4 of Earth. Wow. Okay. So you're definitely manifesting a huge material world change that comes with upgrades in your finances. Okay, beautiful. Pile number 3. All right, pile number 3. This is a very clear and very beautiful message. So let's dive right in. With pain and pleasure being here, this tells me a story of your life up until this point having a duality to it. On one hand, okay, pile number 3, you have been really rooted in your spiritual power, in your truth. You've really been connected to your higher calling. You've really been embodying, your spiritual truth here. But on the other, you still had an element of your identity that got caught up in limitations, in karma, in, just negative earthly experiences. And that had created a duality to your character that felt like a push and pull, like you don't know what is true. Is it this energy of anxiety here, or is it the spiritual energy that is right? Because you're such a dichotomous, basically, consciousness at this particular point, you've been feeling this split or this division to your consciousness, to who you are here. Now, this temperance card following this pain and pleasure card tells me that it's time for these energies to balance out and for you to basically merge into one wholesome consciousness here. Okay, you're ready to really root in your spiritual power. You're really ready to finally, get in touch with your magician power here. You're ready to experience life's basically sweetest things here, I'm hearing, with sugar. And because of that, you are ready to transition into a totally new quality of life that gives you a position of authority, basically a position of abundance, some sort of a physical world material manifestation with Lady of Earth, Ace of Earth, and 4 of Earth here. This is material realm manifestation that is coming towards you. This is what is occurring next for you, pile number 3. You are manifesting a position of authority. This is an abundant position that gives you a lot of financial freedom. It's a position that gives you an entirely new beginning in terms of a financial realm, because Ace is a new beginning within the financial realm. Okay, so this could be a job opportunity, this could be just money coming your way, but honestly, for a lot of you, I feel like this is a job opportunity or career opportunity in one way or another that allows you to gain respect of society. Like you're finally stabilizing yourself somewhere here in society. Basically, you're finally receiving some sort of a position within the social construct realm that allows you to stabilize yourself here in your financial power, basically. Now, pile number 3, I think you have been waiting for this final union or integration of the shadow, or yeah, definitely integration of the shadow. You've been waiting for this basically moment when you would feel like a wholesome individual, wholesome consciousness here. And this is finally occurring for you. You're ready to move into a much more positive experience with sugar here. So what is happening for you next, pile number 3, is you're finally done with this push and pull duality cycle within your own consciousness. You are basically finally integrating the shadow and becoming a conscious, wholesome energy here, and that energy gets you rooted in your manifesting ability. You're finally going to witness all of your magician power basically in your life now. This is a very, very beautiful message here, okay? Pile number 3, with the magician being here, with sugar being here, I think for a long time, perhaps since you were very little, you were aware of your manifesting ability. You were aware of your spirituality, of your consciousness, of the fact that consciousness has impact on reality. You've been really into, quantum physics, metaphysics. You've been really into this basically connection between consciousness and physical world your whole life. But I think you have not really been rooted in your power because there has been this dichotomy to your energy. So on one hand, you recognize yourself as a magician and you manifested things here and there, but it wasn't like a wholesome magician, right? You weren't like just this master manifester throughout your whole life. And now you're ready to become one, pile number 3, okay? I have very good news for you. Right now, it is basically fated for you to end the cycle of pain and pleasure. You've experienced the cycle in order for you to shed some sort of a dark energy, in order for you to integrate the shadow, but also in order for you to experience the material world from a perspective of limitation and fear. And now that you have, you're done with the cycle, the energy is balancing out, and you are ready for a new journey. We're seeing it with Awaz being the horse rune that is moving you into a change here, and with Raido here telling us that is both fated and conscious. So Awaz is a rune of a conscious choice to move forward. And I'm seeing that you were like, okay, you know what? I'm going to manifest my best life now. I don't care if it hasn't worked before. I am ready to try it again. I'm ready to, really get rooted in my manifesting ability. And I'm seeing that you're doing some manifestation, whatever it is, your manifestation practices that you're doing those, and they are finally coming into fruition here, because finally, pile number 3, it is basically a fated time for you to move into this more abundant, more luxurious, more easy and smooth flowing life here. So what is occurring for you next, pile number 3? You are manifesting some sort of a position of authority in society, with 2 of air being represented as respect here. This position of authority is allowing you to be financially abundant with Lady of Earth. It gives you a totally new start in a material realm. So this could be a relocation for a lot of you. This could be, a job offer that is not in your field. It's a completely new start, okay? It's a material realm start that is entirely new. Like you have not really been within this particular material start before. And this new financial start, this new abundance basically allows you to feel like you have finally secured yourself somewhere, with 4 of Earth being assembly here. 4 represents stability. It represents kind of, the building block from which you can move forward. And you're finally feeling, because you're seeing this manifestation of abundance in your life, you're finally feeling like, all right, I can see the result of my own work. I can see the result of my own manifestation. I have stabilized myself at this level of abundance, at this level of authority, and now what do I do next here? Okay, right now, pile number 3, you are in a very divinely protected, divinely orchestrated part of your spiritual journey here. Although you are putting conscious effort into manifestation of your dream here, this Rider rune here, as well as Piscean placements here, are telling me, also as well as the Yin Moon with accept help, are telling me that it's not your work, okay? So you're not like doing something actively that is resulting in financial abundance. Rather, you are manifesting it from your third eye. You are envisioning the future, and life basically finally serves you the opportunities for you to move into this financially stable, abundant, new start here within the material realm here. With Yin Moon being here, pile number 3, it's clear to me that although you are a master manifester and although you have a vision, I think you have like a dichotomy to you. Maybe this has to deal with pain and pleasure here as well, where you feel like you need to also put active effort towards manifestation of your desire. And at this point in your spiritual journey, you're learning that active effort is not always necessary. Sometimes it's actually about just being open and in your feminine, just allowing this energy to come through. And this is what you're asked to do now here, okay? Because there will be people, opportunities, life events coming your way that are going to make you feel like you're just getting it, okay? You're just getting blessings. And that will be very dichotomous to, the type of like active work structure that you're used to. So your message is, please accept help. Please be open to this feminine energy of pulling your desire towards you, because your manifestation that is occurring for you, pile number 3, has nothing to do with your like physical world effort and hard work, and everything to do with your ability to accept, with your ability to receive here. There is definitely a message of you really trying to connect with your feminine power here, okay? So whatever it is, the spiritual rituals that you do in order to be in your feminine energy, doesn't matter what you identify with in real life, please do that, okay? Because active effort, work, masculine qualities here are not going to work. Your cards are basically telling you right now, it's about your third eye's vision and receiving here, okay? Pile number 3, out of all the piles, you're definitely just in the receiving mode. You're the farthest into receiving of your manifestation. And honestly, I think this pain and pleasure, okay, I'm getting a message here. This pain and pleasure maybe has to deal with your imbalance of masculine and feminine within your energy field, okay? So for some of you, although you are a very feminine spiritual energy, by nature, you've been operating through your masculine for the most part, through your intellect, through your logic, through active action, and you've gotten really good at it. But because you've been operating from your masculine, there has been this imbalance in your feminine. And right now, it's important that you balance out your feminine before you transition into this new life. I mean, you are transitioning anyway. This balancing is going to happen for you naturally because it's a fated time for you to receive your manifestation and your vision. But pile number 3, there's definitely a message. If you want this transition to move faster, more smoothly, right? Please lean into your self-care rituals, into honoring your physical vessel, into, really embodying your divine feminine qualities rather than embodying your masculine qualities. Because the more you lean into feminine right now, the smoother this transition out of the pain and pleasure cycle of your life is basically going to be. Before we wrap up your message here, with the cartographer, crossroads, and exploration, it's clear that you're on the verge of a totally new life. This has nothing to do with your effort and everything to do with you receiving. And guess what is going to come with this new life? You will start seeing people from the past pop up here and there again and again, verifying to you that basically you were right and they were wrong in that particular instance. With the puppeteer card being here, what I'm basically getting is, along with you finally ending the cycle of imbalance between the masculine and the feminine, or imbalance between, you know, true embodiment of your power and leaning into your limitations here, you're also getting a special perk of basically getting the clarity that you needed from some people in your life. So if you've dealt with a lot of karmic relationships that, you know, you still are in touch with, but you are not in touch in the same vicinity, you can expect apologies, explanations. You can expect basically people in your life to finally change their minds about where you're heading. And I think that's because they're seeing that you're finally receiving the manifestation of abundance, okay? And they're like, okay, maybe pile number 3 knew better than us. Maybe they deserve an apology. Maybe if I come towards them and I try to really, you know, listen to what their spiritual knowledge has to offer, maybe I'll learn something for myself as well here. So I do have a personal example with this energy actually, but keep in mind this is just an example of the energy. Obviously it will apply differently to all of you, but basically I have a karmic relationship with my mother, okay? And this karmic relationship has been very, very full of suffering and difficulty throughout my life, throughout my childhood, my youth, you know, my early 20s. And, you know, at some point through my spiritual development, I kind of just had to tell myself, like, listen, you know, these people or this person is not going to understand you in the way that they need to understand you for you to feel fulfilled and honored and recognized by them. And that's okay. And you'll have to, you know, you'll have to just live with that. You'll have to be who you are and embody your truth regardless of what this important person in your life feels or thinks, or, you know, in my case it was my parent. And the beautiful thing is as I moved into this spiritual journey here, as I let go of, you know, them needing to apologize to me, of me needing to explain my side of the story, as I just moved on and I prioritized myself, my vision, what I believe in, who I am, as I set that boundary energetically between me and, you know, my family, my mother in this case, I actually started seeing this massive transformation on her end. My relationship with my mother is, I mean, tremendously, 1,000 times better. It's honest. You know, for the first time in my life, now I can tell you guys, I can be honest with her, you know, and I couldn't back in the day. I really couldn't. And I really thought that there was no way in hell she would change, you know. And somehow, I don't know whether, you know, I just entered a new quantum field where my parent feels differently. I don't know whether I wrapped up some cycle. I'm still not far ahead in my journey to really see like the true perspective here. But this is basically what I'm seeing here. Do you guys get the reference of my example? You will see how relationships in your life that have been difficult or painful or karmic in one way or another are going to now start getting easier as you transition into this new life. You're going to see how your people in your life who've not been supporting you, who have been hurting you, who have brought a lot of suffering into your life, are now all of a sudden a part of your journey and applauding for you. And honestly, it's a very, very beautiful feeling, you know, because in the end of the day, we want love and we want fulfillment in our relationships, especially if these are close relationships in our lives. So yeah, pile number 3, I think this is all that I see here. Get ready, buckle up for a massive manifestation of abundance, for a final merging of the divine masculine and feminine here, and for you to just experience life in a much sweeter, much smoother, much more pleasant way than you have been before, because there's no longer this dichotomy to your energy that we have been seeing. Please prioritize your feminine qualities at this time. And yeah, I think this is all. Thank you so much for allowing me into your energy. If you feel like this reading resonated, please give it a like. If you want to share your story with me, please feel free to do so in the comments down below. I would love to hear about it. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye.